All right, perfect. Guys, we got Tahir Whitehead. Answer questions you guys have for him. Everyone should have recording access, so we'll open it up to questions.
Tahir, Mike Solarte, Spectrum News 1. Where does it start with Tampa when you look at them on tape? Is it 12? Is it their run game? Where does it start with them?
I think it definitely starts with the run game. As good as, Brady is and everything, and, he pretty much runs the show on offense, you got to account for their backs. They have good physical backs, good shifty backs. And, you stop the run, you got to try to make them one-dimensional and then put everything all on Brady. So definitely the run.
Tahir, it's Miles Simmons. Is that even more important in terms of stopping the run, just based on what you guys faced last week? And I know you weren't here last year, but how do you try to prevent more rushing touchdowns? Because that has been a problem, for this Panthers defense for a little bit.
I can't speak to what happened last year, or, the past or anything like that. But, I think when you really look at, the rushing yards and how teams are getting them, you want to eliminate big plays, 10-plus yard, pickups and everything of that nature. I think last week, it was about like 3.5 something yards per rush. And, that's not going to really beat you, on a down-by-down basis throughout the whole game. But, every time you lose an edge or they pick up them big gains is where you really are concerned about. So as long as we continue, we get better on our edges and everything, getting off blocks, using our hands, things like that, and, taking the air out of, the ball and gang tackling, I think, we definitely accomplish stopping the run.
Hey, Tahir, in regards to your shirt, I think there's like 25 owls involved in this game, whether it be coaches and players. Did you ever think you'd have that many owls in the NFL on one field? And what have you guys talked about?
No, man. Just thinking back from when I was at Temple, I would have never thought that we have this many guys in the league. Either from a player's perspective standpoint and or coaching standpoint. But it's definitely a sight to see. It just goes to show, how far the program has come, and just the hard work and dedication of the guys that's been through there. Like the grit that we all have, and been to get to this point and some, doing it for a while now.
Tahir, what do you see from Tom Brady on tape from this one game, and then if you faced him in the past, kind of compared to what you saw from him in those games?
Just the comfort aspect. I think you can tell they're still working out some kinks as a whole. As a lot of people across the league with, new staffs, new schemes and things of that nature. You can tell, he is who he is. He's seen a lot of football. He's seen probably every damn pressure that you can throw at him, all of the coverages and everything like that. So you can pretty much, he's going to be in tune with what, what's going on our end. So we definitely have to make sure we make it as hard as possible and not allow him to just read our mail. But in the first game, it just looks like they're working out some kinks. They had to get away from the running game a little early. Obviously, they went down early and then had to throw the ball around, a bit. But I think they definitely want to be balanced, I would say.
How can you take advantage of that kind of as he's feeling out his teammates? Like is there a way that, because he knew what every New England Patriot teammate was doing in the past. So how can you maybe take advantage of some of that discomfort Sunday?
You can't allow them to get comfortable this game. Okay, yeah, working out some kinks, and at some point you want to get comfortable, but it's like, shit, not this week. Maybe next. So you just got to keep applying pressure, in whatever form that is. Whether it's just everybody just doing their job and whatever it is. Everybody just have to do their job on our end, because on their, we know that they're thinking the same thing about us. It was last week was the first time we took the field together. Oh, they didn't play a clean game. Oh, this was an issue. That was an issue. So obviously we have things that we need to clean up. But we need to make sure that we get our stuff in order, and then whatever problems they're having, make sure that they continue to have them and not get them fixed
Tahir,
in this
how,
week.
as a defense, how do you start to generate turnovers?
One more time.
As a defense, how do you start to generate turnovers?
I think it's just being consistent, really. I think last week, one thing that stuck out on film to me is that we flew around to the ball. Obviously, we can be better with our hands and just stay active and everything like that. But on defense, you create turnovers when you get more hats to the ball. You get more guys hacking at the ball. You get tip balls from the defensive line, and then the defensive back or the back end, we're able to, pick it off and things like that. But as far as the forced fumbles and things like that, the more you're swarming to the ball, you're getting more of, more defenders around the ball. When that ball pops out, your chances of, recovering the ball goes up. So, although, we didn't get a turnover in this first game, as long as we continue to play hard the way we are and clean up some of the details, I think they'll start to come, and when it rains, it pours.
Hey, Tahir, this is Stephen Toronto of the Riot Report. Going off of what Miles was asking, Tom Brady has thrown a pick six in 3 consecutive games, and meanwhile, it's been a pretty long time since the Panthers had a pick six at their own. How much of an emphasis is there on scoring on defense, and how satisfying would it be to intercept a pass from Brady and take it to the house, considering all that he's done in his career?
Leading up to the game, obviously, you have all these names for Tom, the GOAT. You look at how many Super Bowls he's won, how successful he's been, throughout his career and in the league. You get hype about that, but at the end of the day, you really just have to ignore all of that, and because it can be a distraction because you feel like you got to do something more than what you really need to. So it really it just comes down to us doing our job, and that's simple. Sometimes people struggle with just accepting the simple things, and it's really that simple. It's just all 11 guys on defense doing their job, and when you get an opportunity to pick it off, or strip sack them and, recover it or anything like that, you take advantage of it. You can't get too worked up on, oh man, this is Tom Brady and, I gotta pick him off, and, because then you start doing your own thing, and then that's when he'll find the holes in the defense because you're guessing in, or you think you got to beat on what he's going to do. So, as long as we, every man, he's in this gap, and we're all where we need to be in coverage, the opportunity is going to come, and then we just have to take advantage of it.
Here, we have time for 2 more questions before we let Tahir go.
On the topic of Brady, Tahir, do you have any good stories about having faced him over the years? Good, bad, funny, otherwise?
One thing I can say, let me see. When I was in Detroit, faced them out in Gillette Stadium, and everybody knows, when you're at home teams on offense, you be quiet. I think he had a good hold on the fans, and making sure that they were quiet when he was on the field. So because he's listening to every single last thing you're talking about on defense. So you would give certain checks, so he'll come up, he'll give a check, and then you were talking on defense, and then it's just like he's looking at you, and then he's shaking his head and smiling like, yeah, I know what that call is, and then he'll put them in the right check, and then then it's a completion, and it was just a big play, or just a screen or whatever, because he knew it was a pressure. So I'll say, like, to transition to this year, with no crowd noise and everything of that nature, like where we are right now, it's essentially going to be the same. So we got to make sure that, we're trying to make it as hard as possible on him, in that sense of, he's trying to listen to every single thing we're talking about, because as the game is going on, that helps him perform better. So, I'll say, he's always, as much as he's controlling the offense and stuff, he's listening to what the defense is doing as well. Like, same thing with guys like Aaron Rodgers and things like that, that's been around a while. You think, oh, you could try to trick them, but, like they've heard it all before.
So how do you stay quiet in an empty stadium?
We're still trying to figure it out.
All right. Well, guys, Jonathan, you can finish it off. There's the last question.
Yeah, Ty, what is it like to have that type of chess match with the quarterback?
It's fun, man. You know, because it's like, you know, someone like him that's played a lot of ball, and you know he's done it at a high level for a long time. So you're just like, you know, you either going to fold under pressure or you step up to the opportunity and you embrace it. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's been a few years since I had a chance to play against them, and I know on defense, you know, even some of the young guys, you know, we just excited for the opportunity. It's another opportunity. It's a divisional opponent, and on top of that, man, shit, we trying to get in the win column. So with all that being said, you know, you can talk about Brady and everything, but it really falls back on us, man. I'm looking forward to the opportunity, but I'm more so looking to the opportunity to get back on the field and correct our mistakes and, you know, get a win in the win column.
All right. Tahir, we